Afternoon VC, Aris here with another video. Beautiful day, boiling hot, been in shorts all day, don't let that put you off. I've sort of boarded the hype train and I'm doing I've been a record store day and I thought I'd do some cross commercial pollination, as I think my social media team would call it, and do a record store day video in a desperate bid to garner some more views. I think my little niece, who's about 15 and gets about 150,000 views per video on YouTube for just trying on trainers, would be quite proud of me. She'd probably call me like a hype beast or an edgelord for doing this. But yeah, record store day. Like a lot of old school records vinyl buyers, I kind of hate it because it's commercialism or capitalism in its rawest form, really, I suppose, sort of supply and demand and hype, and this sort of ridiculous conceit that you've got to start queuing at 4 in the morning to get a record you like, which I don't actually mind. But if you're like some young kid who really wants a record and you've got a queue at 4 in the morning in not possibly the best part of town, then I don't necessarily think that's a great idea. But anyway, I think it's also a great thing as well. I think it's totally reinvigorated the vinyl market, to be honest. And a lot more shops have popped up, and we talk about records a lot more. So I'm willing to take the bad, because I think the good outweighs it. And to be honest, when I was buying vinyl around, I don't know, the real slump years, about 2007, honestly, you'd go in a record shop and quite honestly, I'd seen less middle-aged, shifty-looking men at strip clubs than I had in the record shops that I was attending. It really was an old man's game by then. But yeah, so I'm very lucky because my nearest record shop is about 100 yards away, and it's a bar called the Overdraft, which is an absolutely fantastic bar, and they turned it into a record shop bar about 3 years ago, and it's great. They do fantastic DJ nights there as well, funk, soul, hip hop, classic rock. It really is one of the best bars around. It's really kind of uplifted this area as well, which never known as the greatest area around, and it's really been amazing. And I went down there and I even got a record store day pint of beer. Meantime, 33.45 turntable IPA, which weighs in at a disappointing 3.5%. So probably one for your Coldplay fans, I would imagine, there maybe, or your that's a session lager, isn't it? But I bought a few things today, and my rule with record store day is, because I see blokes coming out with armfuls of records, and you know full well that those records are going to get one play and filed away forever. So my rule is I try and buy something that I would buy if it wasn't record store day. The cost of these records is ridiculous. I'm kind of putting up with that at the moment. But so the first one I got was Michael Viner's Incredible Bongo Band, which is a record from '73, instrumental, best known for the most sampled song in hip hop ever, I think, which is Apache, which I think has been sampled about 600 times. DJ Kool Herc, when he did block parties in the Bronx, I believe, started spinning this around '73 and cutting it up and looping it. Probably, I mean, the Sugar Hill Gang did a song called Apache, which obviously was based on this. But I think the best example of a hip hop song using Apache is probably Nas's I forgot what the Nas song is, but Major Look by Nas, which uses the Apache drum break. Fantastic effect. And also it's got Last Bongo in Belgium, on which the Beastie Boys used to fantastic effect, or the Dust Brothers, for the track Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun, which is one of their great tracks on Paul's Boutique. And I'm pretty pleased to get this, actually. When I was buying vinyl in the early 90s, you could find this everywhere for about £1. And I never bought it because it was kind of considered a joke record. But in the way these kind of things happen, it's kind of become desirable now, which, so I've fallen for the RSD, Record Store Day hype. But I have always wanted this record, and when it was £1, I never bought it. And then I started seeing it for 40, 50 quid. I thought, oh no, I'm not going to buy it for that. And so this is a nice reissue, actually. Sounds lovely, and it's a pretty good one. It's great. It's not going to blow your mind, but yeah, if you're into sort of novelty jazz, not jazz actually, novelty instrumental 70s music, this is great. And it's got a cover of Inagida Davida by, who's that by? Iron Butterfly. which is pretty good on here as well. It's all instrumental, but yeah, I mean, obviously Apache is the one to go for. So that's Michael Viner's incredible bongo band, Bongo Rock. Pretty pleased to get it. Next up, I never thought I'd own this on vinyl because it never came out on vinyl until now. And this is on Craft Recordings, which I hear are a bit of a big deal. So I haven't played this version yet. I've only ever had it on CD. I'm having a party with Jonathan Richman. I'm a big Jonathan Richman fan, but this is my favourite era of Jonathan Richman, the 80s era. I'm not so keen on Jonathan Richman, the Modern Lovers, probably, who, you know, a big part of, they say, you know, inspiration for punk with their debut album. But I love Jonathan Richman and the Modern Lovers' '88 album, which I love it, and this is along the same vein. Just him, a drummer on a very minimal kit, playing super upbeat pop music, guitar. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's just minimal fun. I mean, the record titles are brilliant. The Girl Stands Up to Me Now, My Career as a Homewrecker, She Doesn't Laugh at My Jokes, They're Not Trying on the Dance Floor. Just brilliant. And I'm a huge fan of this era of Jonathan Richman, and I'm just so thrilled to get this. As I say, I never thought that it would come out on vinyl. And of course, that's another... If RS Record Store Day didn't exist, this probably would have never come out on vinyl. So I'm just hoping it's a good copy. And on the downside, it does come out and it's bloody awful. I can't even get it back. There you go. My copy already is worth less than it was 3 seconds ago, but there you go. Yeah. So having a party with Jonathan Richman, can't wait to spin this later. Next up, and okay, this would have been a grail. Obviously not a grail because I've just walked in the shop and there's about 10 copies of it, but the 12-inch of Ice Hockey Hair EP by Super Furry Animals. And then seriously, is there a better singles band in the 90s than Super Furry Animals? I mean, I can't say enough about Super Furry Animals. I put them up there with Roxy Music or, you know, the Specials, or the KLF in terms of fantastic British pop singles bands. Their run of singles in the 90s was incredible. Like The Man Don't Give a Fuck, which I think got to number 22, and it had the record for the most, well, use of the F word in a pop song. It had 53, and then Slipknot beat it with 122 mentions in another one of their songs. So Super Furry Animals produced a live version, which then had 158 comments of the F word on it. The Man Don't Give a Fuck isn't on here, but then they followed that up with Herman Loves Pauline, which is incredible. Just an incredible experimental pop song. And this Ice Hockey Hair, which I think refers to a type of hair that a lot of Canadian ice hockey players have, which might be the mullet. And I've got to say, I always watch Rachel, the Music Man's streams, and I do love them. I really enjoy them. But I've got to say, do Canadians get like a tax break for growing ponytails or something? Because I ain't seen a ponytail in the UK since about 1988, the Acid House era. But I look on there and they do seem to play quite fast and loose with the hair in Canada. There's a lot of mullets and ponytails going on, and I recommend anyone to get on YouTube and listen to Ice Hockey Hair if you don't know this. Just the Super Furry Animals 90 singles, just so superb. Northern Lights, that's another one. Just amazing, just utterly amazing. And I was watching Norman Maslow's stream the other day, and he pulled up Rings Around the World by the Super Furry Animals as one of the best psychedelic 90s albums, and I wouldn't dispute with that. And on that album, it's got the amazing Presidential Suite on it, which is a song about Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton's affair. And it's quite touching, and it's all about the blowjob incident. But it's one of the most touching songs ever, Presidential Suite, and I love it. And an incredible band, so experimental but so poppy. I mean, this song contains about 3 choruses of vocoder, squelchy electronic effects, and it's just brilliant. Super Furry Animals, if they ever re-release their sort of greatest hits or singles collection on vinyl, which at the moment is extraordinarily expensive, I would be first in the queue to get it. I think they're one of the greatest bands ever from Super Furry Animals. But yeah, Ice Hockey Hair EP, and yeah, the actual song Ice Hockey Hair is just top hole. And last up, I'm pretty pleased to get this actually. Primal Scream, the Dixie Narco EP. This came, I think this was the last EP they released off Screamadelica. Actually contains the 10-minute track Screamadelica, which wasn't on the album Screamadelica. Fantastic sleeve, by the way, by William Eggleston, one of my favourite photographers. I mean, I'm a big photography nut, and he's probably my favourite photographer ever, William Eggleston. He did the front cover, well, one of his photos was used on the Big Star second album, the famous red ceiling photo. He was from I think the South America in the 60s, 70s. An amazing photographer. But this is a great track. It's the lead off single is Moving On Up, which I don't really like. It's one of their sort of Rolling Stonesy efforts. But Screamadelica, the 10-minute instrumental on the B-side, is just like a low-slung, Balearic dance belter, really. And again, pretty pleased to find this, because it came out in 93, I think, so pretty hard to find. So yeah, chuffed to get this. So, they're my record store day buys. Really enjoy it. I'm off to the pub, or off to the bar later, probably, because the weather's hot, and we got the England-Croatia game tomorrow, which I'm sure will all kick off, and I've also got my second jab, so yeah, it should be a good day. So thanks for watching my video, and yeah, there should be some more to come. Thank you very much. Bye now.